Hey moms, welcome to the Gather Moms podcast. My name is Kate.
And I'm Rebecca. We've created this space just for you because we're both moms and we get you.
Yes, we believe there truly ain't no hood like the motherhood, and we need to be in this together. We also believe we can't mom well without Jesus, so you're going to hear us talk about him too.
Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Gather Moms and make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss a single episode.
All right, mamas, let's jump in.
Hey moms, welcome to episode 71 of the Gather Moms podcast. We are so excited to have you with us today. We are in our season called Interrupted.
Yes.
All the interruptions.
All the interruptions, you know, it's been funny as we've focused on this that I see all the interruptions, and it's helped me just to realize, like, that's my life. My life is constantly interrupted, and just to, like, realize and just go with it, because this is just how it is.
So if we choose a certain topic for our season, it helps us in our personal lives because we expect to be interrupted.
I mean, that's the ideal. Don't you get benefits from what we talk about?
Should we choose the next season as like money surprises?
All the sleep.
Do you think maybe then that we would get that? I mean, that would be really fun.
I would love it. Let's think strategically about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I like it. No, but seriously, moms, I mean, there is no other way to live motherhood than to be interrupted.
Yeah. Well, and I think it leads into this topic that we're going to talk about today because it helps set our expectations.
It does. You're right.
You know, because I'm not expecting things to just go along smoothly and then surprised when they don't. It's like, no, I expect it to be bumpy, and then I'm like pleasantly surprised when it's not. And that's such a better way for me to go about it.
It is, which is why we need to talk about the big thing on the calendar that's coming up.
Yes.
It's called Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
Are y'all excited about Mother's Day?
I have mixed feelings about Mother's Day.
I'm excited.
Good.
Yeah. But that's the thing. We wanted to reach out to our moms and see how you guys felt about Mother's Day. So we did a little social media fun.
Yeah.
We got the best responses. Y'all are so great. Thank you so much for commenting on our social media posts.
It's so helpful. It's so helpful to hear from you guys and just to kind of get an idea of like, what do you think about this? And
it makes me feel normal. I'm like, yes. I think that too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for making me feel like a normal person.
Yes.
So we wanted to share some of the responses we got, and here's the breakdown of one of them. Kind of this whole idea of like, what do you want for Mother's Day? Like, what's your ideal Mother's Day? 51% of you said you wanted a day with your kids. Were you surprised by that? No,
I thought it was interesting that it was straight up half.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then the other half was kind of split because 31% wanted a little time with kids, but then a break. And 18% shout out wanted a total break from the kiddos.
Yes.
Like, peace out. I'm gone.
Yes. So I feel like I'm in the 31% category.
Oh, you want a little?
I think I want a little, you know, tell me you love me, hug me, give me things, and then I don't need to see you again.
Till the following Monday.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for me, I feel like Mother's Day fluctuates with my hormones.
Okay.
I think it could be different every year for me.
Yeah.
On what I want. When my kids were little, I definitely remember just wanting a break because you're so tired and you have washed your hands 1,000 times and you have done the same, picking up the toys 1,000 times, that you really just want to be off.
Yes.
Like, send me off somewhere. I don't want to pick up anything, cook anything, put anybody to bed, give anybody a bath. I just want a day off.
Yeah.
But then, now that my kids are getting older, I actually enjoy spending time with them.
Right.
We can go out and do, like, some legit fun things.
Yes.
So then it becomes more of like, I want to spend time with you.
Yeah, so I thought that was really interesting because another mom commented that on the post, and she said exactly what you just said. She said, when my kids were little, I would have answered this one way.
Yes.
I would have said, I need a break, which is, you know, that is very helpful to think about because you're with them all the time. They need you for everything. So it is nice to think that, okay, now I get a break from that. As my gift, I'm kind of getting a rest from that. But then as they get into the teenage years, you don't see them as much, you know? You're not giving them a bath. You know, you're not giving your 16-year-old a bath.
Thank goodness. I don't want to do that.
You're not getting them dressed. You're not feeding them breakfast. You're not, you know, all these things that we were doing. And so they're actually gone from you a lot. And then they're in their room playing video games or out hanging with their friends. So then you're like, okay, yeah, I do want to spend time with you.
Well, and it's fun to talk to them at that point. You know, you can have conversations. You can talk about deep things.
Yeah.
I think there's a difference, too, in my expectation of, like, how I want to receive my attention that day.
Yeah.
Because when your kids are little, it's really up to the spouse.
Yes.
Like, they're just not thinking about it. They obviously can't go shopping for themselves.
Yes.
So you need somebody in the family to step up and be like, okay, I'm going to take on Mother's Day. I'm going to go make sure mom has great stuff. But then as my kids get older, I don't really want their dad to take care of it for them. I want them to do it on their own.
Yeah.
Is that expecting too much from my children?
No, that's funny you mentioned that, though, because I don't think we've made that transition yet. I still expect Jeremy to lead the charge there.
Uh-huh.
But you're right. I mean, at some point we're going to start switching over where they need to take ownership of that deal. Huh.
And I don't need them to spend money.
No.
But I just want them to think on their own.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Mother's Day. I should do something for mom, or
Yeah.
make her a card, or, something like that.
Right.
And honestly, moms, we are the ones that kind of handle celebrations in our house.
Yeah.
So you are literally buying the gifts, setting up the party decorations. And so I think every mom kind of feels like, okay, just give me one party that I don't have to plan.
But too, I think, just to be fair, that it's okay to say to your spouse, hey, this is what I want for Mother's Day.
Yes.
And send them a text or write them a list and say, I want
Links.
a card.
Send links.
I want flowers. I want this necklace. Or I want, can you get me breakfast from this place? I'm going to go get a pedicure. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Tell them what you want.
Agreed.
Like, that's not taking any of the mystery and greatness out of it. Just be real. They can't read your minds. They want to do what you want. They want to honor you. So just tell them.
Just tell them. So here's what some of you said. If you could spend your perfect Mother's Day, one mama said a weekend away. Like, she did not even ask for a day.
Yeah.
She said, give me 2 to 3.
Yes.
I said, save me a seat on the bus because
Right.
I'm coming.
That's right.
Another one said you would love for your house to be cleaned.
Uh-huh.
Yes. And somebody to feed and put the kids to bed.
Yes.
I mean, if we could do, I think that's a big one for moms. If I can get a day off from bedtime routine, that would be amazing.
Yes.
Another mama said she wanted to plant flowers and just hang outside with her family.
Yeah.
Jenny, it wasn't Jenny Worsham, but shout out
No,
Gather Jenny, because
I
that's what
know.
I think of.
Yeah, and my kids, that's a nightmare, because my love language is acts of service for my family. And so I truly do. I was just thinking the other day, I thought, I'm going to tell the kids what I want for my Mother's Day gift is for them to pull weeds. Seriously.
I thought you said plant flowers, but
No.
you said no. You're going to get the hard thing, and that's pulling weeds.
No, Becca, have you ever had your kids help you plant flowers?
No, but I pulled weeds for my dad growing up, and it was horrendous.
It's terrible, and I
It's
don't want to do
terrible.
it. My kids, when they plant flowers, I'm watching like, oh my gosh, these flowers are not going to make it. They will die. This poor kid has
But then you're kind of leaving it up to God. Okay, God, are you going to help these plants survive? Because my kids did it for me.
Oh, but yeah, my kids, I mean, I think, yeah, it's acts of service. So it always comes to get them because they're like, please just let us make you a card.
I do not want to pull weeds.
Yeah.
Or clean baseboards.
Right.
Okay, another mama said she would love for her to have lunch or dinner at a favorite spot. And one mom, I remember reading her comment, she said somewhere different, like a special place.
Okay.
Someplace we don't always go.
Yeah.
Which I think is a nice thing.
Yeah.
One mama said she wanted to shop at Home Goods. Yes.
Real specific. She's like, I know what I want.
Just send me there for 2 hours and I'll be very happy.
But see, I love that because she can say to her spouse, hey,
Yes.
give me a card, throw a gift card in there or some cash money
And I'm excited.
and let me go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, another mama said church and brunch with the fam.
So traditionally
So
beautiful.
I need her to wear a hat too.
Yes.
Because don't you supposed to wear hats on Mother's Day?
And I feel like, in the old school Baptist, like they would pin a corsage or
yeah,
something.
girl. Have you ever bought your mom a corsage on Mother's Day?
No.
I have.
Really?
I bought my mom and my grandma a corsage one year.
Really?
Yes, because I thought, I don't know, I feel like that's a Mother's Day thing.
I remember growing up, I went to it was a First Baptist church, and when we would walk in on Mother's Day, they would be handing carnations to the moms.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which now I'm like, dude, the carnation is like the basic of the flowers.
It's the weed of the flower.
Let's step it up, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, another mama said she would love a spa day, and her specific was no phone. No phone.
Yeah, I like that because she just wants to disconnect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nobody call me with a question. Nobody reach out.
Yeah.
Another mama said she would love just to have a present that says, we see you. Mm-hmm. That is like the cry of every mom's heart, I think. Can you just let me know that you see me?
Right. Is it something I've mentioned that I need or, something that would make my life easier?
Right.
And
Not a vacuum.
right.
Guys, don't buy her a vacuum.
Right.
Unless she asks for a vacuum.
Unless she asks for it.
Don't
Yeah.
buy her a vacuum. you.
And you know, like if she really loves coffee and she's been puttering through with this old coffee maker,
Buy her an espresso.
Right, and then you give her this nice coffee, and you know, I mean,
yes.
There's ways that you can help see them. Yeah.
Listen, mamas, you may need to like pass this link of podcast on to your hubs.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, listen to this.
Yeah.
They got some good ideas.
Yeah.
And then another mom, I love this one. She just said she wanted a day off from mom duties, including answering questions. And I wish there was a magic pill that made our kids only ask their dad questions for a whole day.
I know we've talked about this on this season. It does. The number of questions is exhausting.
It's habitual in them.
Yeah.
Like when they have a question, they just automatically think mom. So even if you're in the house on Mother's Day and you want him to answer questions, they're still calling for you.
For sure.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. So I was thinking as we were reading through all these lovely ideas, it just kind of made my heart tender when I thought about our single moms and our widow moms.
Yeah.
Because everything's harder when you're managing life by yourself and then you don't have someone, that's planning the party for you, taking care of that.
Yeah.
So I wanted to share something I thought was really interesting. It kind of goes along with this. So I looked up the history of Mother's Day.
Uh-huh.
The holiday arose in the 1900s as a result of the efforts of a woman named Anna Jarvis. She was the daughter of Anne Reeves Jarvis, and following her mother's death in 1905, Anna conceived of Mother's Day as a way of honoring the sacrifices mothers made for their children. Interestingly enough, Anna remained unmarried and childless her whole life. So she created this idea of Mother's Day, but she didn't actually have kids.
Wow.
And in 1914, President Woodrow Wilson signed a measure officially establishing the second Sunday in May as Mother's Day.
Okay.
Which I didn't know that either. Did you know it was the second Sunday?
No.
I just thought they picked a number.
Yeah, and I think unless you think about it, you think that Mother's Day has just been happening since the
forever?
Dinosaurs?
Yes.
I don't know. Adam and Eve were celebrating Mother's Day. But it's interesting to think that this is an American thing and it was signed in 1914. I wonder if other countries celebrate it.
It did. It talked about, but they're kind of different customs.
Okay.
Like it's different ways that you celebrate moms.
Okay.
Because this is what I thought was interesting. So I read that Anna actually got the idea for Mother's Day from her mom.
Okay.
Who had spoken about a day to memorialize moms and all their sacrifices. But her mom was actually talking about not a day for individual celebration, but a day of service where mothers would reach out to other mothers who were struggling and in need and serve and honor them. So instead of it being like a celebrate me holiday, it was a let me celebrate you holiday.
So cool.
To me, that's fascinating because what apparently this mom really wanted was for moms to encourage other moms.
Yes.
And it's become a day for me just to receive the encouragement.
So here's the thing. I think for me, that's a very freeing way to look at Mother's Day. The reason I have mixed feelings about Mother's Day and the reason I think I struggle with it is because I set these very unreasonable expectations and I, make it about a day that's all about me, right?
Yes.
And I put myself as this, I become like an idol or I put myself on a pedestal and I'm expecting all these people around me to worship me. And, the most dangerous object of my worship is myself.
Agreed.
And when I do that, this kind of gross part of me comes out that can never be satiated.
Right.
It's this appetite for adoration and then I end up feeling so frustrated at the end of the day.
Yes.
Because my expectations are never going to be met. These kids are not going to become different kids just because it's the second Sunday in May.
Amen.
They're still going to fight. They're still going to make messes. My husband is still going to do the things that he does that irritate me. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It just is why would we make a day? That's not what motherhood is about. Motherhood is about sacrifice and love and this just deep commitment to the betterment of another. So what if we flip this thing on its head and instead of it being about me, what if it was about an opportunity to serve another mom?
I think it's so good because you're so right. No matter how much I want the day to go perfectly, if I'm making it all about me, there will be something that doesn't meet my expectation.
Yeah.
So it's almost like you're setting yourself up for failure.
I think so.
And then just what you said, by the end of the day, you're like, I'm like bummed or frustrated or put out or,
When you wake up Monday morning, you're like, okay, back to the grind. I mean,
Exactly. It's like this is supposed to be this one amazing day, but That's no fun because then you don't get it again for another 364.
No, and the whole thing is this motherhood thing is not about what our kids can give us. It's about this beautiful calling that God has given us. These kids are the gift.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We just get it. I think we've just mangled it up so much in this holiday.
I agree. And it's so biblical when you think about it. The idea that Mother's Day really is a man-made holiday.
Yeah.
It's something that man came up with. We don't find it anywhere in Scripture.
Right.
In fact, what we typically find is honor your father and mother. So it's like a parent like holiday or something.
Yeah.
It's not for just one of us. And so when we try and find our satisfaction or happiness in earthly things, we're empty. We're just left empty. As great as a day is where we're honored, celebrated, and exalted by our family, it pales in comparison to honoring and loving others.
Yeah.
And this is what Jesus reminds us of, that loving others is where the joy is.
Yeah.
He is our example, and he constantly served others. Mm-hmm. So what if we did that? What if we took Mother's Day and we flipped it on its head, and we went back to this blessed mom, Anne, and we honored and served other moms, which then means that if there is a mom out there who is single or widowed, or even maybe her husband is sick, or maybe she's just struggling and having a hard time, or maybe her kids are being rebellious and they're not going to do anything for her. We see her. Yeah. We lift her up. It makes a difference.
Well, and I think even for that mama, I have some specific moms in my mind that I know that are widowed, and I would imagine Mother's Day is one of those days that trips them up. I wonder if for that mama, it would be a saving thing for her to think, okay, we're going to go serve somebody today. Like, even though she's in a place where she deserves to be served.
Right.
If she was able to say, you know what, guys, I want us to go and mow the lawn of, this other woman down the street, or, like they did something special for other people to help refocus the day.
No, I think it's a great idea, because what we see throughout Scripture is that when we take our eyes off ourselves and we put it on others, we find more joy and satisfaction in that than we do in being celebrated ourselves.
That's right.
It makes me think of that scripture from Romans 12:10 that says, love each other with genuine affection and take delight in honoring each other.
Yeah.
I think one version says outdo one another.
That's right.
And showing honor.
Yeah.
The idea that, listen, true, genuine love is putting the spotlight on somebody else, not on yourself.
Right.
And what a beautiful thing for us as moms to get to look around at other moms, people that get us, right? They understand the feelings and the emotions that go with this holiday. And so I'm going to take my eyes off myself and put it on them.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
So one of the things I'd like to say to our mamas listening is that you shouldn't feel guilty or shameful for however you feel about Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Whether you love it, it's like your favorite day and you'll have the best time with your family, whether you hate it because you've got bad memories or maybe it never works out like you want. Motherhood is not defined by how we spend just one day of the year.
There you go.
And your desire to have a day off does not mean that you don't love your kids just as much as the next mom. And your desire to feel love and attention from your kids and family doesn't make you selfish.
I think that's really good because, I was reading the comments on the post, and I think it was, there was like a sweet mama who was like, I love to spend the day with my kids because they're the whole reason I'm a mom, And I think it's okay to say just what you're saying, like, yes, I'm crazy about them, but I am exhausted.
Yes.
And the thing I need most is just to be able to take a nap or to not have to make the lunch,
Yes.
I just need a break.
Yes, exactly. So it's totally okay however you feel. And we asked that question. We asked, how many of you feel disappointed by Mother's Day? And 54% of our moms said that they sometimes feel disappointed by Mother's Day.
Yeah.
So why do you think we get disappointed?
I think a little bit of kind of what we talked about before, that we have these expectations that it's just going to be like this magic, like you're going to
believe in magic?
Yeah. You're going to wake up and the kids are going to bring you breakfast in bed with a little carnation. Here it is again. And a homemade card. And they're going to just tell you how much they love you. And then they're going to walk out. And, we just put it in our mind. I don't know where we have gotten this.
Yes.
But we set up this day in our mind of how this is all going to go. And, we may even have communicated to our spouse, if that's your opportunity, or to your kids, if they're older, hey, mama wants a break today. And bless their little hearts, you come out of your room and it's just like a tornado has been through the house.
Yes.
And so you're so frustrated because you feel in your heart, I can't even take a day off because, these kids are going to fight and I'm going to have to referee.
Yes.
Or, here we are with the messes again. Or truly it's a Sunday And Sunday is a work day for moms. Let's be real about
We
that.
have to get ready for the week. Like if I'm not doing it, then Monday's coming and it's going to be rough.
Right?
Yes.
Because we're doing, I mean, in my house, that's laundry.
Yes.
Make sure all that the laundry is done and
Water
the house
bottles
is picked up.
washed,
Yes.
backpacks ready.
Yes. We're trying to get everybody into bed at the right
Yes.
time. I
Yes.
mean, if somebody is not supervising all of that, then you're starting the week off crazy. You know?
Listen, I'm going to need Mother's Day to be like a random Wednesday.
Yeah.
When like federal offices shut down and like dads go home and then wives get to go off and do their own thing. Like, why'd we pick Sunday?
Well, I know. And it's kind of like Valentine's Day. Like, it's kind of that whole concept, too, of like, you're forced on this one day
Yes.
to tell everybody how much you love them. Guys, what? We should be doing this all the time. You know, like, that should be just part of our rhythm is telling people that we love them,
Yes.
right? And telling them that we care and giving them gifts. And, you know, that should be part of our rhythm.
Exactly.
We shouldn't put so much expectation on this one day.
Yes.
You know? And so I think that is part of why we get disappointed. I think the other thing is, there's so much baggage in our connection to our own mothers potentially.
Yes.
And especially on that day, it could trigger all these feelings. Like if we did have moms that commented and said, I don't talk to my mom.
Right. Right.
I've
Yes.
been estranged from her
Yes.
for so long. Or,
Yes.
you know, there's like some really bad stuff there. And so all of a sudden then you have this day that triggers probably some trauma.
Yes.
And so you're like, okay, well, I'm supposed to be happy about Mother's Day, but all I feel is sad.
Yes.
So there's just a lot.
There's so much. There's so much. I think all those things you said were great. And so moms, don't feel bad if those are the thoughts that are going through your head or if those are the emotions that are, you know, overwhelming inside of you. It's completely normal. It's completely normal. And I do think that our world and even the store shelves at Target make you feel like this is supposed to be the most magical day.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to love this 731st picture frame that you got for another picture, you know? And so honestly, it's one of those things where I think you just have to lay all that stuff down before the Lord and go, here's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's where I'm at. So a couple ideas. And Kate said this ahead of time, speak up and share your thoughts ahead of time with your family, you know? And if you are like, guys, I love you so much, but I would just love to have a day off on Sunday. So I'm going to go run some errands and get a pedicure, you know, just tell them ahead of time.
Good.
Or if you want to hang out with them, you know, okay, here's my time frame. Let's go to church. Let's go get some brunch and then I'm out. You know,
Yeah.
speak up and share your feelings ahead of time.
And I would say too, you know, for those that are in a community with a widowed mama or a single mama, would you go ahead and right now reach out to her and say, hey, I know Mother's Day is coming. What is your ideal Mother's Day? How can I help? Because
Yes.
I want to participate in that with you.
I love that.
And if someone doesn't send you a text, you know, for our widowed or single moms, would you just go ahead and tell the people in your life
Yes.
what you need?
Yes.
They want to be
We
there
do.
for you.
We do. Yes.
Like we really do.
Yes.
It would mean so much to me. I would love it more than anything if somebody said, hey, Mother's Day is coming. I'm feeling nervous about it. Can we go to lunch? Would you celebrate Mother's Day with
Oh, I love that.
You know?
Yes.
So say what you need. Say the
Yes.
thing. Reach out to each other.
Yes. Second thing, and this kind of goes with that, let go of control of the day.
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing, because we're moms and we're used to managing our households.
Yeah.
We kind of feel this like need to manage Mother's Day. And I think sometimes you feel that way, especially when you're celebrating your mom,
Yep.
you know, or like a sister that's a mom and you feel like, okay, I got to make this perfect for all the moms.
Yeah.
All the moms need it to be perfect. And so
Yeah.
you kind of take control of it. Just like Kate said, nobody's perfect. They're not out to get you. Our kids are not trying to make your life miserable on that day. Your husband's not. But there's just a good chance it's not going to go as planned.
For sure.
Like somebody's going to get sick.
Yeah.
It's going to rain if you plan to go plant flowers, right?
Yeah.
Like your husband will have probably done a great job taking care of the kids, but the house is going to be a disaster zone when you go to bed. And you're going to wake up to that on Monday morning and you're going to want to be bitter about all I wanted was, but he actually took care of the kids, you know, like you got half. Or maybe you try and take a nap and you can't fall asleep.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is my window.
I know.
I only have this window.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Yeah.
And then you can't.
Yeah.
You know, so here's what I would say. Don't make it about a day. Just pick some moments. Why does it have to be Sunday? If you've got a friend that you want to celebrate with, go on Monday.
For sure.
If you want to hang out with your girlfriends, plan it for next Friday.
Yeah.
If you want to have some alone time, do it on Saturday.
Yeah.
Before. Like, stop trying to make it about this one day.
It's too much pressure.
It's too much pressure.
Yeah, just release the pressure valve off of that. And that is so good to even think about. It does not have to be that second Sunday. And, you know, when we think about the original intention of this holiday, It was never this thing that we've created.
No, in fact, what's so interesting when you read the history of it, so Anna, who started this holiday to commemorate her mother, got so frustrated with how commercialized it got that she actually started like suing. Like she spent her inheritance on legal fees trying to get all these people to stop making it so commercialized because it was not what she had envisioned. I mean, is that not just crazy?
Yes.
Because when you look at our world today, it's a commercialized holiday.
It is.
It's about making money.
It is. I think about that, and again, I'm relating it back to Valentine's. I mean, it's this similar situation.
Yes.
Where it's just, you got to buy things, and everybody feels stressed, and you can't meet the expectations, and it's like, whoa, let's rethink this whole thing.
Have you ever thought, too, I don't know if this goes through other people's minds, I'm like, okay, so Mother's Day is before Father's Day. So whatever he does for me on Mother's Day, do I have to do that for Father's Day?
Yeah.
Like you almost kind of feel like it's like, okay, all right, honey, what you got?
I know.
Because your day's coming.
Yeah. No, it does, because you do, and then you start to feel that pressure, like, okay, whatever he does. And Jeremy has done some of the sweetest things for me. And we have some resources that we'll put in the show notes. But like one year he took us, but we didn't go on a Sunday. It was like a day of the week that was free. We went to dinner and they gave me mom awards.
Oh, how cute.
And each of the kids had come up with these awards that they wanted to give me. And he had sat with them and came up with awards. But I didn't have like a whole Sunday off or anything like that. We went to dinner and they gave me these awards and it was like, oh my gosh, this is great.
Yes. Oh, that's such a good idea.
Totally different.
Yes, I love that.
Last year on Sunday, they gave me breakfast and like a little gift and stuff in bed. And then they left and they went to his mom's house and served her by planting some plants that she wanted planted. And they had lunch with her.
That's so great.
Like, that was a great way. I had a quiet house to myself.
Yes.
They went and served my mother-in-law. So I don't know. I just think there's opportunities just to kind of think about it a little bit differently.
Well, and words of wisdom from an older mom to any younger moms listening. If you're going to try and stay home with your family and have time by yourself, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, get out of there. Or
you can't do it.
Out.
Somebody has to leave. Yes. Because no matter how much you lock that door, they still know how to knock.
Yeah.
And you'll hear what's happening in the living room and you'll want to get up and try to go, help the husband or whatever.
Yes.
So just words to the wise.
Yeah.
Somebody got to leave.
Yeah.
Okay?
And if you do go, you go to lunch, you get a pedicure or something. Let's say somehow this all happens on Sunday. Before you walk back in that house, mama, you just take a breath and know, okay, this beautiful mess I'm about to walk back into, this is motherhood.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's not perfect and cleaned up. This whole imperfectness is what's so beautiful about it. So I'm going to walk in here and I'm going to embrace it as it is.
That is so good. That really is. I tell Greg that sometimes when he comes home from work. I'm like, would you just sit in the car for a minute before you come in?
Take a breath.
Take a breath and just know that as soon as that door opens, I need you on.
Right.
Okay,
I need you
we
present.
We haven't seen you all day.
Yeah.
So don't try and send another email or take another call. Because really, it's like you have to get your mind right before you go back into it.
Yeah.
So that's really smart.
Good.
So one of the scriptures that I love that talks about moms is from 2 Timothy. It's 2 Timothy 1:5, and it's Paul writing to Timothy. And he says, I remember your genuine faith, for you share the faith that first filled your grandmother Lois and your mother Eunice, and I know that same faith continues strong in you. And I love it because what Paul's saying is you got your faith from your mom and your grandma.
Yeah.
And moms, I just want you to know that there's so much in you that your kids are picking up on. I would love for them to pick up on your faith. I would love for that to be one of the hallmarks that you leave for your kids is my mom was a mom of faith. And I know what you might be thinking. You might be thinking, well, I didn't have that background, or I've just kind of got back into church, or we don't even have a rhythm. I'm just listening to this podcast. This would be a great opportunity for you this year to decide, you know what? That's what I want my kids to glean from me. I want them to see my faith. And if my faith is not strong right now, I want to take steps to have a stronger faith. Because I love that this young man, this is Timothy, that he received that from his grandmother and mother, and now he's living his life different because of it. Yeah. That's what we want for our kids.
We do. You're talking about that, and it makes me think about, we wrote a study called Homegrown, and that was the whole concept, is passing on our faith to our children and how we do that practically. So shameless plug for that. If that's something that pricks your heart, as Rebecca's talking about, okay, I want to be a mom that's passing on my faith. That's what that whole book is about. So you can find that on Amazon. We'll put that in the show links.
So I have just some little tips for you as we kind of finish up today. Number one, think about trying to share the attention with another mom this Mother's Day. Yeah. Think about someone that you know that could need some just encouragement, and reach out to her. I think you really will see and feel the difference it makes when you lay down your desires to be celebrated and you celebrate someone else.
Love it.
And it doesn't have to be drastic. It doesn't have to be a big show. It really could be a card, a call, a text.
Go leave some flowers on another mom's porch.
Yes.
Or, go get a Starbucks and drop it at her house. Or, just say, hey, you want to go for a walk?
Yeah. Oh, she would love that.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So just see what you can do. Number 2, you can have a do-over. Literally, you could go do Mother's Day again on Monday.
There you go,
You could be like, you know what? Sunday was not great.
Psych.
So send those babies to school, or my preschool mamas on Tuesday, Thursday, when they go to Mother's Day out, be like, I'm doing a do-over. Good. Okay. I'm going to hang out with a girlfriend today. I'm going to go get the pedicure I didn't get.
Yeah.
Or I chipped my nail on Monday and I want to get another one. Go get another one.
Yeah.
Because as much as you love the actual day, it can be any day.
Any day.
And I had to teach myself this, because I am that person that loves the day. I want to celebrate the day.
Okay.
And so I really had to let go of that expectation for myself
and
go, you know what? It's okay if this day doesn't go as planned. I can have another day. You know what, Mom? You could actually have every day, because you're the mom.
Ideally, yes. That's what's happening. You're making sure that you're getting what you need, you're being taken care of, and that you're honoring other moms in your life, and you're honoring your own efforts and how God's equipping you. I mean, it should be a part of our rhythm.
Yes, and that's what number 3 is. Spend some time this week as you're leading up to Mother's Day in prayer and Bible reading with God, and ask Him what He desires for you as the mom of your children. You know, what are the unique things about me, God, that I can give my kids? How can I pass my faith along to them? What are some parts of my faith that are not strong that I need to grow in so that I can then pass those on to my kids? Ask God to shower you with His love and remind you how special you are, because finding your satisfaction in God is going to make you full. So when you get to Mother's Day, you're not running on empty. Yeah. You're already full. So anything your family does is like extra on the top.
That's right. And then when they do give you praise and adoration, you can roll that glory up to your Creator, who made you a good mom, who made you kind, who made you a servant in your home. You know, that glory doesn't rest on you. You guys, we just can't handle that pressure. I can't handle it. I become a monster under that kind of adoration that was not meant for me. And so I love that. I mean, I think that would be a beautiful way to start Mother's Day, or maybe sometime that weekend, just to go and get away, get a cup of coffee and sit with the Lord and say, hey, let's talk about motherhood.
Yes. And be honest with Him. Yeah. Tell Him, I don't feel full and I'm frustrated here and it's not working out like I want. God can take all that.
Yes.
Because He wants you to thrive in motherhood. I think we forget that God is like our biggest fan.
Yeah.
He wants this to be something that's healthy and growing, that overflows His joy and grace. These are His babies that He's given you. You're His daughter. Yeah. So He desperately wants for this to be wonderful, and He knows that the world is trying to suck it out of us every chance it gets.
Yes.
So instead of letting Him do that, let's just, before we ever get to Sunday, just go ahead and sit with God and go, okay, I'm ready.
Yeah.
You just fill me up. Anything extra is going to be amazing, but I'm going to be totally full on God's love.
There you go.
We love you guys, and we love Mother's Day. I mean, honestly, Gather Moms, we love Mother's Day because we love moms.
That's what we are about. But we are genuinely celebrating Mother's Day all year long because we love mamas. We celebrate you. We want to equip you. We want to tell you how great you're doing. And so, that's what we're about over here.
And we're going to try and invent that magic pill that makes your kids only ask dad questions for a whole day.
Yes.
So when we get there, we'll let you know.
Can't wait. Okay.
Thanks for joining us today on the podcast. We love you. Happy early Mother's Day. We'll see you next time.
Bye, moms. Are you looking for the perfect Mother's Day gift? We got you. GatherMoms.com now has a shop, and we would love for you to go check it out and get the cutest mama swag for you and your mom friends.